Coming up this month on Roanoke County Today, we meet the new Chief of Fire and Rescue for Roanoke County, plus get some tips for school safety. This and more coming up in August on RCT. The South County Library is now a designated passport acceptance facility. Passport applications are taken by appointment during these hours only, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Monday and Tuesday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call the South County Library at 540-777-8782. Details are also located on the County Library website, roanokecountyva.gov/passports.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me today is Officer Rick Crozier, Crime Prevention Specialist with Roanoke County Police Department, and Deputy Philip Ferguson with the Sheriff's Office. They're going to talk to us today about back to school safety and some other items that children need to be aware of. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here today. So first, Officer Crozier, what are some school bus safety reminders that our viewers need to know about?
One of the first and major things that I would like to remind the public about is those flashing red and yellow lights on school buses. Oftentimes we're in such a hurry to go to and from wherever our destination is that we don't pay attention to the subtle lights and stuff that are flashing. Yellow flashing lights means that bus is getting ready to stop. Doesn't mean to speed up and go through them. It means to prepare to slow down, prepare to stop. The red flashing lights mean that all traffic has to stop in both lanes unless there's a positive median barrier, which is those like on separates several lanes of traffic. And in that case, then you only have the lanes going in the same direction of travel as the bus that have to stop.
Okay, and how about bus stop safety?
Bus stop safety, we always have phone calls coming in, kids are running around at the bus stop, people are afraid they're going to get injured. My suggestion is to have at least a parent designated to hang out with the younger kids at the bus stop until the bus comes. Don't have to do it every day, but at least they can sit there and designate which days they would like. Make sure that the kids stay somewhat on the curb, make sure they're not running into traffic, make sure they're not doing a lot of horseplay. We don't want anybody injured at the bus stop. And if you're purchasing knapsacks or book bags with your for your kids, make sure they have reflective material on them, because when the days start getting shorter, it's going to get dark when they walk to the bus stop, and we want those kids to be able to be seen.
Sure, sure. Those are great tips. How about speeding in neighborhoods? That's a dangerous thing during school time.
That's probably one of the biggest complaints that I get into my office at least once a day. People are complaining about speeding in neighborhoods. What we want to make sure the public knows is that at all times we want you to maintain that speed limit. But especially when these kids are going back and forth during school season session, we want to make sure that we're going to be in those neighborhoods more. We're going to strictly enforce those speed limits. So make sure that you pay close attention and be alert. You never know what a child's going to do. They can run out in front of you at the last second, so be prepared.
Right. Good tips. Changing gears a little bit, let's talk about social media. That's such a growing concern, that internet safety. Speak to that a little bit.
Each year we have several cell phones stolen at school. People get in, students get in trouble because they go the wrong places using these iPhones, these smartphones. Tell your students to make sure that they are careful about where they go, what sites they go to on their phone or on their computer. Make sure they're careful about what information they receive and pass on, because they can be responsible for all that information. So make sure that they don't share their passwords, and sit down with your student and look and see what they're actually, look at their friends list. Make sure who they're actually talking to, make sure where they're actually going. Keep up to date with that stuff as a parent.
Those are some great tips too. Thank you. And Deputy Ferguson, talk about bullying. That's a really growing concern now in schools.
It is. Bullying is on the rise here, especially in the Roanoke Valley, and the law enforcement as well as the school have taken a zero policy as far as dealing with bullying. What we suggest is that the parents take a proactive rather than a reactive view on how to deal with bullying. For instance, the first day of school, I believe it's the 24th, your child is going on the bus, they're happy, they're skipping along, and they get on the bus, and all of a sudden 6 or 7 hours later they come back home, they don't want to say anything, they don't want to talk. And evidently now you got to find out what the problem was. Okay, so I think if you be proactive and talk to the kid about bullying, we got a couple of weeks before school start, talk to them about what goes on, what to expect, who they can talk to, turn it into a teacher or some adult, whether it's a custodian at the school or someone who works in the cafeteria, to make sure that this information gets to the appropriate folks. And when you talk to them, you may find that your child may not be a victim of bullying, that your child may be the bully.
Right.
You know, and but whether your child is being bullying or being a bully or just one of these children in school that's having no problems at all, our policy is see something, say something, and take it to the right people and try to get it taken care of.
That's a really good reminder. See something, say something.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good idea. And also in the schools are school resource officers. They are in every county school, I do believe, or they rotate through the elementary schools. And those are people like you all in law enforcement who can be good role models, who can offer a lot of help.
Yes,
too.
they can.
Good. Well, thank you all. Another thing, people want to find out more. Who should they contact, or can they go online and search?
They can go to the Roanoke County website, but it's just as easy to call me at the Crime Prevention Office at the Roanoke County Police Department. The number there is 777-8651.
Okay, good. And at the Sheriff's Office as well, people can call?
Yes, they can. I believe the number right now, because we just changed the phone services, 283-3100.
Okay, very good. Thank you both for joining us today. I know these are some great tips for parents, and we got to keep our kids safe, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
A pet is a friend. They are playful, loyal, and every pet wants and deserves a forever home. Did you know the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection has many pets that are available for adoption? Our adoptable pets are listed online with pictures and descriptions, or you can visit us at 1510 Baldwin Avenue, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more info about providing a pet a forever home, contact Roxy Brown at the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection. Remember, there's no place like a forever home, so adopt today. It is important for both restaurants and homeowners to help keep our waterways clean and safe. Never pour cooking oil or grease into sinks, parking lots, or streets. The oil and grease can enter our waterways through storm drains. Always try to recycle the oil and grease or put it into the trash. If you have a spill, clean it up by using a drying agent like cat litter. Never hose down spills. Keep dumpster and trash can lids closed. Restaurants should clean floor mats and garbage cans in a mop sink. It's easy to keep our waterways clean by doing the right thing.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me today is newly named Fire and Rescue Chief Steve Simon.
Oh.
Welcome to the show, Chief.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
I think you've been with us before in different capacities, so it's nice to have you on the show as our new chief.
Always welcome.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
I started out in fire rescue in Prince William County in the Northern Virginia area while I was going to college, and I sort of fell in love with that. I was going to paramedic school, and that's where I started my career. I stayed up there for a number of years, and when it was time to move out of that area, my wife now, she was my fiance, we moved down to the Christiansburg area, and I started with the city of Roanoke. And stayed in the city of Roanoke for a few years, and I came over to the county and started out as a paramedic firefighter and progressively worked my way up to the fire chief. So I'm very honored to be the new fire chief.
That's great. And what have you been doing within the fire department since you've been here?
Yeah, I've started, like I said, started out as a paramedic firefighter. I've worked at every station in the county in some capacity. I was promoted up to a fire lieutenant and assigned to a ladder company, the old hook and ladder trucks that we have. We don't have them anymore. Fond of those. And then I was promoted up to a captain, and I was in charge of the EMS system and helped shape the EMS system as it is now, putting our first 24-hour units on, working with the volunteers for advanced life support units, and then promoted to battalion chief, and sort of stayed in the same role, but a little bit more responsibilities. And then as a deputy chief, I was involved with all the budget, hiring, our technical rescue team, our training. So had a lot going on throughout the last 13 years until I was promoted just recently to fire chief.
Okay, so you've been all around doing a little bit of everything within fire and rescue.
Absolutely.
So you have a lot of good experience to bring to this position.
I'd like to think so. And the good thing is I've worked with so many other local governments and so many other county departments, that it is good to be able to just step right into the role, and there's no learning curve for me. So I'm excited and hit the ground running already.
Great. And tell our viewers a little bit about the makeup of
Yes.
the Fire and Rescue Department.
Yes, we have 12 fire stations throughout the county. It's a combination system, which means we have volunteers, and then we also have what we call career, which are county employees. When I came in, it was predominantly a volunteer system where career personnel supplemented the volunteers, and we only worked daylight hours. Now it's sort of transitioning because we do have a decline of volunteerism. Hope to be able to keep that going for many, many more years. But with the current makeup, we have about 160 full-time career firefighter, paramedics at different ranks, and then with the volunteers, we have anywhere from about 170 to 200 active volunteers spread out all throughout the county.
That's a lot of volunteers.
It is, but it used to actually be a lot more, and just the demands of keeping up the certifications, the demands of staying at the fire station is just challenging for people.
Sure, sure. So you're always looking for more
Yes.
volunteers, I'm sure.
Yes, we are.
So they are a very critical link within the department.
They provide a lot of support services and direct responses. We have some stations that nights and weekends, that's what you receive, and the citizen doesn't, in my opinion, is not concerned who's providing the
Right.
service, in the sense when they call 911, they want someone to come help them, and they want someone to be competent and capable to treat their emergency. And my attitude is the same. As long as we can provide services, and if we can provide it for volunteers, I'm more than happy to continue to do that.
And what are some of the requirements to become a volunteer?
You have to go through, as a volunteer, you have to be selected through the volunteer organization, because they are a nonprofit organization. It's a membership, so they interview you. If they choose to move you through the process, the county sort of gets involved. There's some state requirements about background checks, fingerprinting, to make sure that everything is good on that person, because they're going into people's homes when people are at their worst needs. And then we'll put them through training for EMT training, or we put them through firefighter training. And that is tough training, but usually people go through it, really enjoy it.
They really need that experience.
Yes.
That's great. And talk about the community. I think community has
Yes.
been very important to you. What do you do personally within the community, and then what are you hoping the community will do with the fire department?
Yeah, I think the community is an integral part. The fire stations were all built based on a community system. A group of citizens came together in a certain community, said we need fire protection or rescue protection, and they built a fire station. Now that's where we're at now, but the challenge is the community hasn't been in our fire stations as much, and I'd like to open those doors back up. 9/11, with all the security issues, we sort of locked things down a little bit. Our decline in volunteerism, we don't have the membership coming out from the local community. For me, I'm active in the community from a PTA standpoint with my children, but I'm also very active in youth soccer and with one of the local soccer clubs, and work as a coach, seeing building character, but also I'd like the firefighters to be role models. They are role models for me. When I was growing up, I could ride my bike up to the fire station, I mentioned this before, and get my tires filled up. I went to the fire station because that was someone I could look up to and everything. And if you're ever in trouble as a young person, my parents always said, if you're in trouble, you go to the fire station and they'll take care of you. So for me, it's always just been ingrained into me, and I think we should be that way to the community.
Sure. I think that's important too. I know my children have been and taken a tour of the fire station that is near us, and that's important to them. So I know you're hoping to invite the community in more.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Now, outside of the normal traditional services that Fire and Rescue provides, what else can you all do for the community?
Well, we have prevention programs that will come out, our people will come out, inspect your chimney. We're not going to do any modifications to chimney, but we'll look at it in the fall to make sure it's safe to burn, in our opinion. We also have fall prevention programs. If some of our older residents can't install their smoke detector, our guys will come out, guys and gals will come out and install the smoke detectors for them. If people are having issues where they are unable to afford smoke detectors, we have a program that we can go in and put smoke detectors in some homes. So we do all of those things. A lot of times people just don't realize those services are available to them. So I appreciate
free.
So I appreciate this information getting put out for them.
Yes, those are some great services.
Yes.
Good. What are some of your goals now that you're in place and you've hit the ground running? What are some of your goals the first few months?
I mentioned one thing. It's a new chief, so there's a lot of changes that might need to go on within the organization, because we've had one chief for many, many years, and now people need to learn who I am and how I like to lead the organization. As I mentioned, I think community is very important. Supporting the community is very important to me. So that's one of my goals, but also making sure the membership knows that they, volunteer and career, know that we are a good organization, and we are a good organization because they make it a good organization. So it's so important for them to be included and engaged so we can do great things within the community.
Good. Well, it sounds like you've hit the ground running, and you have a lot of goals set for not just yourself, but the entire department. So we look forward to seeing more of you.
I appreciate it. I look forward to.
Great. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Okay, we'll be right back.
A little soap and water can go a long way. When you wash your car in a driveway, the soap, oil, and grease can flow into storm drains and pollute our rivers and streams. Always try to wash your car on the lawn. This will allow the water to soak into the ground. If you have to wash your car in a driveway, make sure the water drains onto your lawn and not a storm drain. Use a biodegradable soap. Dump your wash bucket in your sink or allow it to filter through the grass. It's easy to keep your car and our waterways clean by doing the right thing.
If you've ever had an emergency, then you know that in an instant, all you can do is put your life in the hands of the men and women who come to save the day. This is the mission of the Vinton First Aid Crew. The Vinton First Aid Crew is looking for volunteers who would like to help with their community. For more information on becoming a volunteer, call 540-983-0641, send an email to volunteer@vintonems.com, or you can visit their website at vintonems.com.
The Highland Games is an amazing competition. The skill that these athletes possess is utterly amazing. And Chad Clark is our athletic director, and he has done an amazing job putting the games together. So I'll let him perhaps go ahead and tell you a little bit more about the games and the type of activities that we have.
Thank you, Wendy. The games this year will be on August 29th at Green Hill Park. Traditionally, the games consist of 7 events. Events in quick order is stone, very much similar to what you see in the shot put in the Olympics. 2 different events for distance, throwing weights, very similar to what you'd see throwing a disc in the Olympic Games, just much heavier. After that, they have the hammer toss. Again, very kind of similar to like a wire hammer in the Olympics. Following that, you have the caber, which everyone kind of knows when they say, oh, it's the big telephone pole looking thing. That's the caber toss. After that, you have what they call a sheaf toss, which is, no, I didn't say sheep, it's sheaf. It's a 16-pound burlap sack that's actually tossed with a pitchfork over a rising crossbar. And the height goes up until there's no one left that can make it over that height. The final event after that is what we call the weight over bar, which is very similar to the event prior to that, the sheaf toss, except this time it's a very heavy weight. For men, it's going to be 56 pounds. For the women, it'd be 28 pounds. And that's traditionally what accounts for the athletic portion of the Highland Games.
And I think what's really neat is 2 years ago we added the women's division, and that has become exceedingly popular. And then this year what we've added, just for fun, for the kids is 3 of the athletic competitions that Chad was talking about, where we will actually have miniature versions so that the children can participate in the activities as well.
And actually this year, I just want to add that this will be the 7th year of the event. I know when we first started out, I think maybe we had 20 athletes. And I can honestly say that it's a sport I'm very passionate about, and I'm very proud of the fact that each year it's grown and grown. This year, we're probably going to expect anywhere between 80 to possibly 90 athletes. And a lot of those this year, we'll probably have between 15 and 18 women competitors. This will be the first year we actually have a pro class. We're going to have 6 pros coming in. Basically, pros from the Carolina region, from Northern Virginia, Maryland, coming in to help out for a great cause. We'll have a big masters class, a lot of athletes over 40. That'd be myself included. They'll probably make up a good portion of the field. And also we're going to have 3 guys, which you could call wounded warriors or adaptive athletes. And that's the members of Warrior 360, who we're doing the event as a fundraiser for. They're amazing guys. It's 3 athletes. Between them, honestly, they have 2 legs. All I can say about it, if you go in the dictionary and look up the definition or a picture of hero, that's what you're going to see is guys like this. You know, they're all armed forces vets, all served their country, all lost their limbs while serving the country. But there are no more amazing athletes than them. You know, they don't see that as a handicap or a setback. They get out there on the field and throw it just like the rest of us. They're amazing, and that's the reason we're doing it as a fundraiser for their organization. They compete in the event. Like myself, they're athletes that travel pretty much all over the East Coast competing in these kind of events. They all have pretty big histories of athletic past since their, I guess, combat injuries. I know one competes on the U.S. Paralympic bobsled team, works at Walter Reed, coaches CrossFit there. Just amazing. Not only, I mean, they would be amazing athletes no matter what, but given their circumstances, they're even more amazing.
And I think, too, what we really want to emphasize this year is we want to invite the public to come out and see just how amazing the games are. You know, so it's open, it's free to the public. You know, we will have food and beverage available for sale. We'll have games for the kids. You know, it's just a beautiful day, and of course Green Hill Park is magnificent in Roanoke County, and it's the perfect backdrop.
It is. There's very few places, like I said, I travel all the time with events like this. There's really very few places that you have as beautiful backdrop as what you'll see at Green Hill. I mean, it's an amazing venue. Again, it's free. You know, all we ask if you come out, if you enjoy everything, you know, please, you know, think about who the event is for, and, you know, and make it a small donation to them to help out a good cause.
I think, you know, another thing that we've got some Scottish vendors coming out this year. We've got 2 food vendors. We have a beer truck. Highland Brewing Company will be out there. So it's going to be a true Scottish feel to the day. It is Saturday, August 29th at Roanoke County's Green Hill Park. The games will start at 9 and end probably somewhere between 5 and 6, depending on the number of athletes that we have. So it's a whole day in beautiful Green Hill Park.
Think if your car has airbags you don't need to wear a seatbelt? Think again. An unrestrained occupant can be seriously injured when striking an airbag. There are 3 collisions in a crash. The vehicle strikes something, the body strikes something, internal organs strike something if the body suddenly stops. Seatbelts slow the body instead of a sudden stop, which lessens the 3rd collision. Always wear a seatbelt, even if your vehicle has airbags. Remember, click it or ticket.
Have you ever wanted to find a book, read the latest issue of a magazine, or do research at your local library on a Sunday? Well, now you can. Our South County and Vinton libraries are now open from 1 to 5 on Sunday afternoons. This means that you'll have access to our extensive collection of books, DVDs, and audiobooks, as well as our library's many computers and, of course, our friendly, helpful staff. We want to be part of your Sunday afternoons. For more information, contact the South County or Vinton libraries.
Welcome back to the show. The Western Virginia EMS Council recently awarded 2 of our Roanoke County Fire and Rescue volunteers with an award. And joining me today are EMTs Lindsay Arnold and Emma Duff. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we are so proud of you all. Let's start with you, Emma. What is the award that you received?
I received the Outstanding High School Senior Award and Scholarship this year.
Oh, that's great. What does that mean to you?
It is a signature of what I've grown up as with my parents and an inspiration to my future.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your duties when you're working.
I am an attendant in the back right now. I help the people in charge with whatever they need in patient care. I also help out with chores in the station and checkoffs.
Okay, so you're getting a lot of experience.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And what do you think you're going to do with all of this experience?
Hopefully continue on with the rescue squad through college.
Okay.
And hopefully go to medical school after undergraduate.
Good. So you have some good ambitions.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. And how long have you been involved?
2 years right now.
2 years.
Yes.
So, and you just graduated from high school?
I did, in June.
Well, that's quite inspirational that you're able to come right out of high school and then join in this work that you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
It's good. So you really enjoy what you do?
I do.
And it runs in your family?
It does. I grew up with my dad, who started when he was 16, hearing all the stories that he told about his time with the crew. It was inspiration to what opportunities could hold for me.
Good. And your mother is also in the medical field?
Yes, she's a registered nurse at Roanoke Memorial in the emergency department.
So you've really grown up around it.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Also, Lindsay, now tell us what award you've received.
It was for excellence in EMS.
Okay. And what does that entail? What does that mean?
Well, in some respects it's longevity because you've been around a while. In some respects it's the quality of leadership and care you've provided through the years. So it has multiple aspects, and it's a great honor to receive it.
Great. And how long have you been volunteering?
A little over 41 years.
Wow. With this station?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with the Cave Spring Station. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, people have come and gone, and I have seen some grow up and some go away, and a lot of good people have been through here. And we have police officers and doctors and lawyers, and a lot of good people have put in the time here and contributed to the community.
Great. And what inspired you to become a volunteer?
I had family members that had been here before me, and always felt that it was something that I could do to contribute to the community, and I would want somebody to do for my family, to help them out if something happened. So I got involved in it, and I guess enjoyed, maybe not the best word, but everybody here gets some kind of gratification out of it, or they wouldn't continue in it. And it's nice to see people get better or get well, even the ones you never see again. You've had a small part in helping them.
Sure. And I'm sure you serve as a mentor to people like Emma who are trying to get into this field.
Yeah, and her dad years ago too. So.
You were a mentor to him? That's wonderful.
So, yeah, I mean, we have, like I say, we have a lot of good people. We have people now that are working in the ERs part-time, that are getting ready to go to medical school, that are in paramedic school now, thinking about making it a full-time vocation. So.
Okay. And what does it mean to you to receive this award?
It's humbling and a great honor to think that the people that you know and associate with care that much about you, have thought, to I guess recommend and endorse your application for that award.
Sure. And how many volunteers are at the Cave Spring Station?
Ooh, I don't know right now. Probably about 35 or 40 that are really active, that run on a shift every so many nights a week.
Okay. This is a very busy station, indeed, within the county.
Yes, ma'am.
So you see a lot of activity. That's great. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us. I know that our citizens certainly appreciate you giving your time, as you do, to serve everyone. So, and congratulations on your awards. And I know that from here you will go on to compete for the Governor's Award.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's in the fall, right?
Yes, November.
Okay, great. Well, we hope that that is successful, and then maybe we'll have you back on the show to talk about that award.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
You both for joining us.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll be right back.
A pet is a friend. They are playful, loyal, and every pet wants and deserves a forever home. Did you know the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection has many pets that are available for adoption? Our adoptable pets are listed online with pictures and descriptions, or you can visit us at 1510 Baldwin Avenue, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more info about providing a pet a forever home, contact Roxy Brown at the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection. Remember, there's no place like a forever home, so adopt today.